Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be drawing an OC that I found on X, and this is what it looks like. OC by Baffy's, and she is so adorable. So this OC had a lot of different parts to it, and I think that's what made this challenging for me, is because normally I'm an artist that draws very simplistically. I don't like a lot of details typically, but this character had a ton of details. Clips in the hair, bows here, wings there, wings here. There's probably about 6 different wings, or 3 sets of wings just everywhere, right? And drawing each one, and I wanted to animate this character, so when I drew each part I had to think of how is this going to animate, which parts do I want to move, which parts I don't want to move. And for time reasons and for reasons to help my tablet not go overboard, I didn't make everything move. I only made certain parts move in this animation. Once I finished drawing her, I realized that I had to draw some sort of background, so I then added more details to the picture, which then complicated it even a little bit more, but that's okay. I want to get better at drawing cool backgrounds because, as you can see, I've finished with my VTuber. If you haven't seen my latest videos, I want to create a background for her. I've just been using Canva stuff to make her backgrounds, and the VTube Studio backgrounds. That's all I've been using so far. So if that's what you're seeing now, that's basically what I'm using. But I want to actually do a very detailed and make her a nice background. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited for a lot of stuff in the future, and I'm actually going to make a video on what I did for Live 2D, what my experience was, the things, the ups and the downs, and etc., because honestly, there was a lot of learning, and oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about when it comes to that. But I'm going to do that in a future video. Just for this video, though, I pretty much just tried to focus on this particular piece. That's all I'm going to talk about for now. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was that I had a comment on this particular piece that kind of hit hard for me a little bit. I don't know why. I think because I did so much in this piece. I worked on so many details that honestly I felt like the comment was not very nice. And I got the comment from somebody on X, and I'm not going to repeat who it was, but basically the comment said, well, when you improve, maybe I can commission you, when you get better. And honestly, I think this particular piece was rough for me because it was just so many details, and I'm just not used to that. And I know I can improve on this, but also I'm using a different animator, and the animator that I'm using, it is the Procreate Dreams, and I just feel like it's a lot more limited. Live 2D has so many more things and options that I can use, and I just realized, man, there's only certain animations I really should even be doing on Procreate Dreams, or I really need to learn more about Procreate Dreams, because when I looked at it at the end piece, I honestly maybe wasn't all that happy with it. I don't know. I felt like it looked great, but then when I realized it, maybe it looked choppy to other people. I don't know. For some reason, that comment, normally comments don't bother me, but that particular piece, it did, because I spent so much time on it, a lot more time than I really wanted to. So, not to sound negative, but I feel like there's a lot of that in the artist community, where one artist feels superior to another one, and it's just like, well, you're just learning, you're just getting better, and when you get better, I'll like your stuff or whatever. To me, it just sounds so condescending. So like, I always appreciate feedback, even if it's negative, but to do that to other artists, I mean, I'd rather people do that to me than to do that to another artist who's just starting out, because to me it just feels degrading to other artists. So I believe the other artist knows where they're at in their process. I know where I'm at in my process, and honestly, I know that there's stuff that I very much lack at, and there's things that I'm still learning and processing. And I feel like most artists are very much aware. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of artists are very much aware of where they're at. So like to tell them that they need to improve is just kind of a kick to their face. I mean, I'm just being honest. Where you might feel like you're doing a great deed to saying, hey, you'll improve, you'll get better. The better thing would be to say, you know what, you're doing a great job. Just keep going. Just keep doing it. Because honestly, all the artist is looking for is positive feedback, just to keep them to push forward, and they will improve over time as they keep going. I have seen it more and more when artists, you know, they're not improving as much, but you just keep giving them positive inspiration, saying, hey man, you're doing a great job. Even if it doesn't seem to you like it looks like a masterpiece, it doesn't matter. It's about their expression. And that's the thing I always tell other artists, is it's just an expression. We all don't have to look the same. I mean, AI, if you want AI, go ahead. That'll look perfect in the same. Even then, it's not perfect, but whatever. What I'm trying to say is everyone has a unique expression. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, just like let it go. And I'm sorry, I'll get off my high horse, but it just, that whole superiority thing, like, oh, you know, you're not good now, but you will be. It's just, it's so rude and it's not nice. So I really say that to other artists out there. I don't like that about this community. Please stop. Just be more positive and stop trying to tell people how they should or shouldn't be, because art is an expression. It doesn't have to be a math and perfect. That being said, if someone's looking for criticism and they want that critical feedback, by all means, give them critical feedback. But to say, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to wait till you improve, you know, maybe I'll commission you then. That is just so rude. I'm sorry. Like, you telling people that they just need to improve is not good criticism. If you want to criticize somebody, then tell them, this is where I think you can improve. Maybe you can do better here. That is positive criticism in a way. It's when you're just, it just is degrading when you're just expressing, oh, well, you know, your art sucks now, just get better. Like, no, shut up. Like, that's just not cool. It's not nice. I feel where this piece really kind of tugged at me was it just took me so long to get all the details, to split it up into parts. I spent hours on this piece, and I don't spend hours on a lot of pieces. I spent a lot of time, and the animation also took a little work too, because it looked kind of choppy at first, and working on it and then making it look smoother, and then even in the end result, I feel like it turned out pretty, but I also feel like I think Live 2D would have done a way better job at animating this than Procreate Dreams, or how I utilize Procreate Dreams. But here is pretty much the end result of the art portion of this before I animated it. Then I got into the animation. So this part was probably the funner part of the two. The cutting, it's called cutting. Cutting all the little pieces was probably the most annoying part of this. And this, because the cutting wasn't done very well, I feel there were aspects I had to go in and correct and repaint on the animation, which you guys will see. And that's okay. It sometimes just happens when you're animating that you'll see like cuts and splits and things that need to be fixed because it'll be clipped or whatever, look dumb. And so this particular piece, I had to do a lot of that just because, again, there was just so many moving parts. So here, after I split it up into different sections, I just basically toggled back up and down the move and scale function of this particular app. I don't believe I did any of the warp stuff. I pretty much stuck to movement. I just wanted her to be basically moving with her cup, her head bouncing back and forth with her hair moving, and the plant in the background, just little movements here and there just to make the picture look like there's a little bit more going on than just a still life picture. So pretty much the things that I worked on moving was the hair bits, and then some of the wings. I didn't do her head wings. I did her wings, and then the black wings I animated, and then I did her tail, and then one of her feet. Once I was done basically going through each piece and making sure it all looked good, Then I reevaluated the animation as a whole and see if I wanted to add anything to it, which, as you can see in the end result, that I end up adding some steam on her coffee. I wanted to kind of give a little effect there, which I just did a very simplistic animation effect. I didn't really go into depth with that one. I could have done it a little bit better. I just was, again, at this point, because there was so much happening in this picture, I just wanted to finish it up. And so by that time, I just made a little bit of steam and called it quits. And then I got a little bit of feedback on the picture itself, saying, why don't you make the plant move in the background, and then why don't you do something with the bear? So then I had the bear blink, and then I had basically the plant in the background move around. So here I'm kind of going in each piece and correcting all the holes that I'm finding, which this process probably took a while for me, trying to correct all the little snippet pieces, which in the end, I think I got it okay. I think it looked all right at the very end when you see the final result. I think if I were to do this all over again, I might just do it in Live 2D. I think Live 2D is the slightly better program. So far, I've only done one rigging. I haven't used their animation feature yet, but that would be something to try out in the future and see if I love it. And if I do, I might just completely switch over to Live 2D and just take a break on Procreate Dreams. There are things I do really like about Procreate Dreams. It's very simple. I can take it anywhere with my tablet. But Live 2D is really the beast. I mean, it really does just about any animation that you need, and it just gives you from point A to point B. This is what it'll do to get the animation to look like this, and it's just a way better animator, in my opinion. Again, nothing to bash Procreate Dreams. I've seen some crazy things on Procreate Dreams. I just don't know how to do that stuff on Procreate Dreams. And maybe that is where I need to improve, is to figure out how to not make it look so choppy on Procreate Dreams. I think, again, if I had done this on Live 2D, it wouldn't have looked as choppy as it did. But because I was trying to finish up the piece altogether, I think it turned out well for what I did. And honestly, it was a free piece that the person that I did it for absolutely loved. She loved it, and so did a lot of other people. So I am very, very thankful that I got such positive feedback on this. And again, I apologize for bringing up that comment. It just, the whole idea makes me upset. It's just not just that comment. It's an issue altogether with the art community, and it's not just that person. It's the art community as a whole. I used to join art communities on Facebook, and now I don't even hardly talk to any of them because they were just so critical of everybody, and I couldn't stand like a new artist showing their work and they just being criticized, comment after comment, nothing positive, nothing to keep them going. And I really hate that. I want new artists to continue trying. You're not going to be good at first, and you'll get better, and then some of it could be just your expression, and that's okay. And it doesn't have to look good to one person. It might look good to the other. Like, I know really, really good artists that look attractive to me but may not look attractive to another person, or vice versa. There are artists that I'm like, I don't see it, and that's okay. I watch some Sam Does Art videos, and some of the artists he appreciates are the ones that do simple strokes that make it look pretty or more complicated. And it is fascinating to me. It is not my art style. It is not something I would do. I mean, I've attempted it before. I've tried to do that type of art stuff, but it's just not me. It's not my art style. And I understand why he feels more impressed by that, because he himself draws like that. He is like that kind of artist. That's what he aspires to be. And so I think that is what is important to note, is when someone is aspiring to be like something, then that might be attractive to you, or it might not be. In my case, like, I don't aspire to do that type of art. I don't do art that's like Sam Does Art. But I still go and watch his videos, and I really appreciate them, and I love what he does. I love what he represents, and he has been doing art for many, many years, and his art has inspired many people. I've literally seen artists that draw almost exactly like him, which I think that's really odd because I feel like people should have their own style, but still, I mean, if it really inspires you, then go for it. I mean, do it. Don't copy them, but you know, always can use other artists as your own inspiration and finding out what you like and what you want to do with your work. I think for my art, I've decided to pretty much focus on animation, mostly Live 2D, maybe some Procreate Dreams, but I do really want to focus on getting better at animation. And so that's primarily what my videos are going to consist of, is getting better at art and getting better at animation. I am so excited because there's just so much to learn. So guys, I know this turned out to be a little bit of a rant video, but I hope it still inspires you and I hope you enjoyed watching. This is pretty much the end result. Not gonna lie, I feel like it looks a little choppy, but I'm still happy that I did it. If you guys really like this video though, please like and subscribe. I promise not all my videos are rant videos, most of them are not, but if you want to see my animation processes and getting better at it, subscribe, check out my other videos, and like I always say guys, don't quit creating.